I want to be remembered as the Mr. Nice Guy. Watch out, I'm back.
Coming onto the stage is the nice guy himself, ISMOO. There's a large ISMOO fan contingency in the crowd chanting his name right now. ISMOO, the nice guy, showing off his lucky charm and here to do the business that he wasn't able to do in years past.
I mean, that's right. I mean, but he's been here multiple times. I mean, that's something that we can't say for Raigeki Blast. Not here in SWC, but ISMOO, the second time coming back here into Worlds. He has the experience. There's no way the nerve should be getting onto this man. He is very familiar with this stage.
Make it a bud?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, these are all the best players in the world, so their preparation should be pretty much done. It comes down to picks and bans. Picks and bans don't care about your nerves. So at the end of the day, it's about making the right plays. And if you look at his box here, he has picks that, Raigeki doesn't really use. He uses the Dominic here, but also in his back pocket. He talked about that Han, talked about that Wunsa. I mean, Oliver's his first pick. None of these units Raigeki has. That's a big advantage here. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deploys these units. And he's a great, he's a great player himself.
Again, ISMOO has been on this stage before and is always a contender in the Europe Cup. So it's great to see him back and still finding ways to try and achieve more in his storied career. Both these guys with long storied careers, just with Raigeki, first time on the global stage. And when we were talking nerves earlier, Stoic, I think Raigeki was one of the players whose personality changed a little bit when rehearsal kicked in yesterday into today. And you see on his face, focus, but we won't really know if it's nerves until he gets into the game.
Yeah, Raigeki's definitely very focused here. We talked a lot with Raigeki here, and he's someone who has he's very well prepared for just about every one of these competitors here, but he can't help but let the nerves get a hold of him. And I'm hoping that the nerves don't get a hold of him, because we are always looking for that America's Cup representative to make it to a world final.
Yeah, we've had the closest ever in Thompson in 2019. Will Raigeki be able to do it, or will ISMOO close it on out? Let's find out. The first match of SWC 2022 starts now.
And here we go. We've got Raigeki and we have ISMOO getting into our first match in this year's SWC World Final here in Korea.
This is going to be a good one to start with. I mean, you saw ISMOO, their players already getting a little nervous. ISMOO took a big sigh there. It'll be interesting to see, again, how their pick bans work out. What we're going to see here is that we're going to see ISMOO's opted to take first pick. And ISMOO actually, Ricky was telling me in the back that ISMOO won the coin toss. So ISMOO felt like his first pick is most important here. I think we're going to see an Oliver, Oliver and Volantis pre-ban, and next time around it's probably going to be a Wunsa and then something else that ISMOO's going to choose a pre-ban. First pick's going to be interesting. It's going to tell us what kind of pace ISMOO wants to play at. I think we're going to see a Shizuka or Nana or something like that, because that's what we saw in the previous matches. Goes with the Praha. Interesting pick. Takes away Raigeki's bruiser, healer, stripper.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that is. ISMOO's trying to dig into the very limited box. I'm not going to say extremely limited box, but the limited box of Raigeki with taking that Praha. Raigeki very quick. He's going to be taking a CR, 24 speed lead, and the Shizuka as well.
Yeah, definitely a very limited box of Raigeki's there. I mean, Raigeki does not have a Changpong. Remember, as we mentioned in previous streams, Raigeki fed his only Changpong a while ago, so he does not have that unit today. ISMOO really dipping into Raigeki's box. Knows that Juno is a core unit of Raigeki's, chooses to take the Juno. I'm not exactly sure if he wants to take it that early though. Hovering over the Dark Vanilla Cookie, one of the most powerful units in the game here with the ability to strip and slow on skill 3 and then provide Oblivion on skill 2.
Wow, does lock in that Dark Vanilla Cookie and the Dominic as well. Raigeki looking to respond to both those units. He does have that Juno now on his side of the field. Not too sure if he's going to look at that Juno knowing that there's Oblivion on the other side of the field already on the side of ISMOO.
Yeah, and Raigeki really needs to be thinking about going for cleaves here, or some sort of fast turn play here, and that's exactly what the Robo G92 does. ISMOO's representing no real speed here. He's representing about 280 units, but all of them at 280 without a speed lead here. So he doesn't have the ability to take a first turn here. ISMOO going with the Changpong Ponto speed lead allows him to come out at around a 300, 305 range on Violent here. So Raigeki's really going to need to make a decision of what he wants to ban out, what he wants to lock down. We're going to see probably a fast threat last. That's exactly what we see. We see the lore here, but I think Raigeki's going to be in a little bit of a tough spot. We're going to see Raigeki open this matchup with either the Robo or the lore here, and then ISMOO, he's going to need to get some stuns or disruption because ISMOO has 4 very impactful units at the 280 speed range. So if ISMOO can get these online here, he's going to have a lot of momentum.
Well, Raigeki in the Pontos getting banned out, and here we go, guys. Let's get into it. That Dark Pure Vanilla is going to be taking turn 1. The third skill getting the slows across the field of Raigeki. Praha with all skills available, of course, goes a nice little skill 1 onto the Tessa. Some of the damage coming out there. Serious Matter comes to the field with the additional turn. Big second skill. Defense breaks land across the field. Not looking good for Raigeki.
No, not looking good at all. That Praha still has skill 3 to provide that slow debuff, and ISMOO's just going to be able to take a lot of turns. Raigeki's not going to get a turn. He has slow debuff on his entire field. So at this point here, Raigeki's pretty much done for.
Whoa, not looking good at all. That's another digital turn coming out of the Praha. Praha not taking away, but dealing some more damage here. Dominic almost removing the Shizuka from the field. Shizuka defense broke is going to take a ton of damage from the Changpeng. We need to see some sleeps coming out of this lore for him to bounce back at all, but there's a revenge, and Praha's going to be kicking out in front, removing the Shizuka. Another additional turn is going to be coming out here. Praha, ISMOO absolutely destroying the field of Raigeki.
Yeah, Praha absolutely doing a lot. ISMOO just getting the perfect opener, and ISMOO takes the first match 1-0.
Absolutely commanding lead by ISMOO in that very first match there. We didn't even see Raigeki make anything truly impactful in that match.
Yeah, and ISMOO there cracking a smile at his opponent there, knowing that his pre-prepared game plan worked brilliantly. I mean, I don't think Raigeki was expecting to get outsped with those speed leads, outsped by a Dark Pure Vanilla Cookie. That was not something he expected. When you draft the way Raigeki did, you assume you're going to get the opener, and your opener needs to be good. If you don't get the opener, you instantly lose because your opponent, ISMOO, has 4 units that are very impactful AoE units. And you saw, he didn't even need to use that Praha skill 3 to give him speed buff and cycle. He was able to take his time, let his Changpeng do some work, and basically just outspeed and cleave Raigeki down.
Now, do we think that Dark Pure Vanilla Cookie is going to be in the ban list now as we go into our second match here?
I definitely think so. I mean, that unit probably at a speed that Raigeki's not able to deal with well. I mean, we saw Raigeki had speed lead plus Laura there and got outsped, so Raigeki didn't even have the ability to go first. So that Dark Pure Vanilla Cookie's probably around the plus 220 Swift range, somewhere really high that Raigeki doesn't have much to deal with. So I would think in this matchup coming up here, Raigeki's going to dip into a segment and probably try to assert some sort of control over the open.
All right, well, let's see what happens, guys. We get into our second match between Raigeki and ISMOO. Pre-bans from last time. There's that Oliver, there's that Valantis. They are going to be available as we get into this match here. New pre-bans coming out here. Let's see if that Dark Pure Vanilla is going to get banned out or not.
I think it's either that or the Wunsa. I don't think the Han's going to be pre-banned because Raigeki's just going to have to deal with the Han. So it's going to be either the Wunsa or the Dark Pure Vanilla. But judging by the speeds here, might be that Dark Pure Vanilla. I mean, that thing I don't think it trips off Valantis either. And there we go. The Dark Pure Vanilla ban. Banned out from Raigeki, and ISMOO taking out the segment. Not something we've seen take out from Raigeki too often before.
Yeah, that segment getting pre-banned out there sounds like a little bit of homework done by ISMOO, knowing to eliminate one of these very fast units that Raigeki does enjoy, like to draft here. But Raigeki with the first pick, let's see what he goes with and locks in.
Yeah, Raigeki goes with the Shizuka here. ISMOO not letting Raigeki take what he wants to take here. I think we're going to see some sort of a Sierra, some sort of a Nana, maybe a Volantis, some variation of these comps. Raigeki does not have a lot to play with here. So we're going to see very neutral picks. That's generally what he goes with. I wouldn't even mind to see a Masha at this point here. It wouldn't be too bad. But again, Sierra Volantis, as predicted, generally speed lead plus an AoE disruptor is a pretty neutral and strong opener.
And a very quick Oliver is going to get slammed down by ISMOO with one other pick here after seeing the Volantis and Ciara being drafted by Raigeki. Here to see what this last pick is going to be. And it is going to be a Masha. Very meta-relevant here for ISMOO.
Yeah, and I think Raigeki's kind of in a tough spot here because if ISMOO's Juno and Praha are at a good speed here, they're going to outspeed Raigeki's entire team if that Oliver is let through. So ISMOO has the ability to take a Tableau or some other speed lead last, so Raigeki's going to be forced to contest for speed now, and that's exactly what we're seeing with the Moore. You see that Cardinal, but Cardinal's not exactly the best into a Juno, into a Masha, so Raigeki's, again, with this limited box, kind of in a tough spot.
Yep, and there's that Annabelle coming out there. It might be signaling that we might have a ban on top of that Juno right now.
Yeah, we might have I think we're going to see a ban on the Oliver from Raigeki. I think he's going to value going first. I don't think I like that Annabelle pick there. I would rather ISMOO take a second speed lead. But again, I guess Raigeki decides to ban out the Oliver, so he's going to be facing Annabelle. So he's going to be facing an Oliver throughout the match here.
Yeah, well, 33 speed lead for ISMOO. Is that going to be fast enough to take turn 1 here? And it is. That is very fast Praha here.
Definitely very fast Praha. And Raigeki's going to need to proc that revenge from the Volantis, but ISMOO wisely does not use skill 2.
Yep, Raigeki going in full strip here, not getting the Masha, of course. We're going to have Oliver going to get a reset after a pushback on top of that water view. We have our Volantis Big skill 3, only getting stunned there on top of the Praha. Glancing lane on top of Masha will be tackled later on.
Yeah, and actually pretty big miss on that Oliver. Oliver's going to be able to reset, do Oliver things here once it gets a turn here. So Raigeki is forced to use that skill 3, and he's going to need to have a very impactful turn from Carnal, but big stun onto that Carnal.
Oh, but a very lucky Violent Proc coming out of that Carnal, though. He has all skills up here. He could lay down the law there with that big second skill or third skill. Goes into third skill, hopefully gets those slows on top of everybody, and not getting on top of everybody at all.
Yeah, knock it on top, but that's going to be a big heal coming out from that Juno once it gets a turn. There's only two units for Raigeki moving in front, so that's a big heal coming, and Raigeki's going to need to do a lot of damage if he wants to sustain a lead.
Let's see what that skill 2 is going to be going on to. It goes right on to Carnal. He wants to get that third skill back up there. We get a Despair Stun and a Violent Proc coming out of that Masha, and another additional turn coming out of that Oliver as well.
Wow, super lucky to get that Violent Proc back to back here. Really unlucky for Raigeki. That Carnal's not even going to have skills once it takes a turn, so Raigeki really not going to have too many cooldowns to take momentum back.
Yeah, Raigeki getting a little lucky not getting Despair Stun on that Carnal once again. But we've got Water. You're looking for Despair Stun himself, not receiving anything there. Masha with Carnal in sights there, a little bit of damage coming out. We only have a skill 1 left. The Shizuka, all skills up, are available with this Praha, putting everybody to sleep. Not exactly everybody to sleep on Raigeki's side.
Yeah, there's speed buff going on the side of ISMOO, and ISMOO has a Masha that's going to be able to do a lot of damage, and he has Oliver with skills, so that's a lot of momentum on ISMOO's side. Raigeki doesn't really have a lot of attack bar on his side. He has slow debuff, so he's in a lot of trouble.
Definitely in a lot of trouble indeed, but you see that third skill come out on top of Shizuka. Not getting the full attack bar pushback, though. But the Despair Stun does finish off that Volantis with the Juno, though.
Yeah, it does finish off that Volantis, and when you look at this here, Raigeki doesn't have a lot of damage left on the field. There are 4 units with full HP on ISMOO's side.
Oh,
another unit
Lord.
goes down. ISMOO's looking so strong today.
So strong indeed. Beautiful additional turns, dropping those units like that. Another Despair Stun going out onto the Shizuka. Oh, just so much going ISMOO's way. Raigeki had enough. ISMOO taking round 2.
Wow, and ISMOO just using his monster box to his advantage here, not letting Raigeki have a chance at all. I mean, ISMOO understands the speeds of both drafts here, is able to make sure that he either gets an opener or he's able to play back in a way that gives him the most advantage over time. And of course, got a few lucky Despair Suns, got a few lucky procs along the way. But again, Raigeki's window of opportunity to win is so narrow in these matchups.
Yeah, it really is, but I think Raigeki's definitely going to be thinking about this third match here. I think he should have took his time. I knew that match definitely was a big loss for him, but I think what Raigeki needs right now is time. Time to think and time to plan for his next match here. But either way, guys, we're getting into that third round very, very shortly with Raigeki and ISMOO.
Yeah, I think Raigeki just needs to make an adjustment here, needs to figure out how he can have either a better turn 2 or fight for that turn 1. We didn't see that segment come out in that first match. I would like to see that picked out. I would like to see some sort of an Ashir, some sort of an Ethna come out. We know he has those units, so he needs to fight for turn 1 a little bit more and force his opponent to resist and take advantage, do a little bit more damage off the bat.
Well, excited to see what Raigeki has for us, and excited to see if ISMOO gets the big 3-0 or not up against Raigeki here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point here, I mean, 2-0 is such a commanding spot to be in this situation here. I mean, obviously, you're in a best of 5 up 2-0. But again, ISMOO has the advantage in box versus box. Oftentimes in these matchups, it's player versus player, not ladder rating versus ladder rating. ISMOO's been playing very well today, and we'll see what he brings in this third match.
All right, let's see it, because we're starting up right here. Pre-bans from last time's segment, and that Dark Pure Vanilla getting pre-banned out, but they are now available. We now have Oliver and Volantis that are pre-banned here in this third match.
Yeah, so Raigeki needs to find a way to avoid being in that situation he was in the first match, basically locked out completely. So he's probably now noted the speed of that Pure Vanilla, so knows not to deal with it. Again, takes that segment as called for. He needs to disrupt turn 1. That's exactly what he goes with. We're likely going to see ISMOO go with the Juno here, steal something from Raigeki, and then potentially take some sort of either a speed lead or either a Masha is actually okay. So like a Juno Masha feels all right, or even like some sort of Masha Shizuka or something, some variant of that sort to dip into Raigeki's box.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be taking that Shizuka. I feel like Shizuka feels like the right pick, especially when CR has already been laid down onto the field as well. Can add a ton of volatility to the draft here, but let's see. He's taking his time for sure. I mean, we're going to see that a lot of these players taking up their time here. And it looks like ISMOO is going to wrap up his draft there with
So I think Raigeki's going to go the Robo G92 here. ISMOO's side is very cleavable. We're looking at that 280 range here. Robo G92 hits the board here, goes with the Barber. That's a pretty all-in opening, actually, when you look at the Barber there. So Raigeki tells us exactly what he wants to do here. I'm not sure about that Barber pick, but again, pretty hard to punish that at this stage when your opponent ISMOO's taken 3 280-ish speed units. Pretty easy to punish with an AoE team like this.
Well, ISMOO taking a speed lead for himself here. It's going to be that Pontos to protect himself with some beautiful holy ground here if he gets that off here. And that's going to be a lot of protection. Of course, he's going to wrap up his draft here with a Shizuka.
Yeah, wrapping up with the Shizuka here, and if I'm Raigeki, I'm looking to ban out either that Pontos or the Shizuka and looking to use this last pick here to probably AoE cleave. Again, a Chungpong would be amazing, but unfortunately Raigeki does not have a Chungpong here. Goes with the Tablo. I'm not sure if that's the perfect pick here, but I think it's a great pick. Allows him a lot of versatility, speed lead, some AoE control, and ability to proc into the game here. Again, I think we're going to see either a Pontos or a Shizuka ban. I would lean toward a Pontos ban here, but if he takes the second, especially with that second speed lead.
Yeah, definitely bans out one of the speed leads. Pontos is going to take the ban. Tablo is going to take the ban. And I mean, we're going to have leader skills coming out, and then it's going to be a very obvious 24 leader skill, 24 speed lead for Raigeki and a 33 HP for ISMOO. We have round 3 coming here right now. ISMOO looking to close things out. Raigeki looking to keep himself still in here. And there's a massive resist on the Shizuka.
Absolutely massive resist, but it comes down to this Robo. Does the Robo get all the strips? If the Robo's able to get all the strips and stun everything, that could give Raigeki the tempo he needs.
1, 2, 3, 4! Getting all 4 stuns with that Robo G92. Bombs are going to be coming out. Keep in mind there is no reset on top of that Shizuka just yet. Bomb lands true on top of the Praha. Psych, a little bit of attack bar here. No additional turns coming out of Praha this time here. We do have that third skill still available on the second bit. Looking to finally land it, and he does get it on top of the Shizuka just in time for that additional turn to pop up.
Very, very good protective play from Raigeki. There does reset that Shizuka and is pushing the advantage here. Raigeki has a lot of tempo here and is going to be looking to take out 2 units soon.
Definitely looking for that. Bombs are going to be landing true. Ciara on her game right now. Defense break and the dismount on top of the Masha. Raigeki finally finding a little bit of ground to start his run here. Looking to get a big finish on top of ISMOO. A little bit of damage going towards the Shizuka. We're going to see some pretty good damage coming out of that Masha. Masha additional turn. Big poke damage coming on to the Ciara. Ciara down around 50%. Your curse beautiful going out. A little bit of defense breaks and heal blocks on the field of ISMOO.
Yeah, but it's not quite over yet. Still losable, but Raigeki in a great spot. He's going to go 4 units in 1 here, and I think Raigeki's going to be able to take one and say, not just yet.
Not just yet, indeed, because that's a lot of attack bar reduction right there. Looking for a little bit more damage going out onto the Shizuka. Shizuka with no skills up here, even this additional turn. And there you have it, Raigeki holding on in round 3.
Great draft from Raigeki there, pivoting as expected there, needing to fight for turn 1, not letting his opponent dictate the flow of the game here. Generally at high level play, you want to go first, force your opponent to resist, and actually he got a little unlucky missing that Shizuka off the bat there, so kind of unlucky, but he had enough redundancy with that Barber, with that Robo G92, he's able to take the game from there. So in this match, Raigeki's going to have to face an Oliver, and that's going to change the dynamic a lot. We might see a repeat of game 2. I think Raigeki got a little unlucky there, but again, Raigeki does have a narrow window of opportunity to take any of these here.
Most definitely. This is going to be a very, very interesting match. This is pretty much where both players are learning from everything. We've had 3 matches that Raigeki's learning stuff from, and ISMOO obviously not wanting to take another loss here, so things are definitely going to get interesting as we get into game number 4.
Yeah, as we get into game number 4 here, ISMOO is gonna want to, obviously gonna want to win every single match, but this is important because if he loses this one, no one wants to get reverse swept. That's not a position you want to be in. You're gonna remember that one forever. So this is a really important match for ISMOO here. It's important for both, but you don't want to get reverse swept. Ever.
Nope. Not at all. ISMOO's really going to be putting his A game on right now. Not that he hasn't been putting his A game on throughout this match, but ISMOO does not want to take this loss. And we're getting into this match right now. Game number 4, Raigeki, ISMOO.
And we're going to see the same pre-bans we saw in game 2, I think, probably Dark Cookie, and then we're going to see ISMOO take out that segment. That's exactly what we see. I think Raigeki probably felt he got a little unlucky, which is what we saw. We saw that Cardinal Despair stunned, and then procs on the other side over and over. So I think if we play that out again, Raigeki probably has a 60% chance of winning that or so. So he might be content to run that one back.
Oh, he's going to be taking that Juno as a first pick for Raigeki. Very interesting decision from him.
Yeah, very interesting decision indeed here. We know Raigeki has one of the best, if not the best Juno in the world there. Instead decides to go for Praha here, knowing that Praha's better into Juno, right? It's a water unit into fire, so you want to take that Praha, give yourself that speed buff. And ISMOO is probably going to respond with some sort of a Oliver and then a Dominic, or maybe an Oliver and a some other unit to pair with an Oliver. You could see a Masha as well, I think Oliver and Dominic's a little weird because it's 2 win units, but Oliver, Masha, Oliver Changpeng's interesting.
It's really interesting knowing that Raigeki doesn't have the Changpeng. Quick as that, Raigeki slams down Juno Masha.
Yeah, Raigeki exploiting the weakness of 2 win units off the bat, going with 2 fire units here. ISMOO's taking the Water Ryu here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another AoE unit of some sort here. Or even a single damage deal like a Han. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Han, even though it's another speed lead. Some sort of AoE or some sort of high impact, high damage unit coming from ISMOO here.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I think ISMOO could also think about taking a robo of sorts. Goes with the Han as predicted here, and Raigeki instantly laying down that Nana Volantis. Really like the, ooh, I'm not sure about that Wunsa pick there. I do not like that pick. I think ISMOO is banked on too much speed here. It leaves him a little, that Wunsa's not great into whatever Raigeki's bringing. Raigeki has a great turn 2 comp. ISMOO already has the speed advantage with that Water Ryu, so I'm not sure about that Wunsa. So Water Ryu and Wunsa are gonna be allowed through. I think we're gonna see a Han ban or probably an Oliver ban because it's the most RNG, but definitely Water Ryu and Wunsa are the 2 weaknesses in ISMOO's comp right now.
Yeah, looks like that Han's gonna get the boot, and so is the Volantis. No LD Nat 5s, well, minus that Wunsa. Gonna get banned out here.
And in this situation here, ISMOO doesn't have a lot of damage actually. He's got Oliver and the Changpeng, but Raigeki's got 2 fire units here, so I think Raigeki's got a great turn 2 comp.
Yeah, most definitely, but let's get into it. We've got Wunsa taking the first turn, using that 3rd skill there, and of course we've got Water Ryu's gonna kick it up right after him. The Despair Stun going out onto the Pra. Serious Matter coming out with big resets across the field, with again the additional turn coming out of this Changpeng, and we've got Oliver's gonna be kicking things off, possibly removing that Pra from the field.
Yeah, that's an absolutely massive proc by the Changpeng, and also proc by the Oliver there, because Defense Break makes Raigeki's units a lot more squishy, and his Water Ryu and the Wunsa take turns before Raigeki's team, so really lucky by ISMOO there.
It really is. Double 2-piece in SWC already coming out of ISMOO with that Changpeng. Changpeng looking so strong right now. Does get that slow applied onto the Oliver, which is definitely a little bit of saving grace for Raigeki, but that's going to be the dismount there on top of the Masha. Keep in mind there's still 1 orb on top of the Nana. Looking for a Despair Stun coming out of Raigeki. See if he goes for that 2nd skill. Opting to go for the 1st skill. It's like a little bit of attack bar with that 1st skill.
Yeah, Raigeki's basically going to be looking for to take out that Oliver here. I really think ISMOO should have thought about taking out some of the units here. That Nana still has an orb there, and ISMOO's going to be running out of steam if he doesn't get more proc. So Raigeki might be able to come back if the Juno can get a few Despair Stuns, and if that Masha survives this next round of attacks.
A little bit of attack bar pushback there going out onto the Nana. We get that 1st skill, looking for a 2-turn sleep on top of the Prod. Not going to receive it here. Goes to Dick Future, gets double Despair Stun on top of the Wunsa and that Oliver.
Absolutely massive double Despair Stun and massive lack of kill on that Praha there.
Yeah, Pra is staying alive here, but it doesn't get dropped just yet. Keeping that orb up on top of the Nana. Big 2nd skill, getting Despair Stun on top of the Juno. Juno's going to heal up just a little bit here. Looking to drop that Oliver probably as soon as possible. Possible Despair Stun going on top of the Changpeng as well, though.
Yeah, Raigeki does need to take out that Oliver right now here. Get that orb on that Nana because we know Changpeng has skills up again there, so it's a lot of damage that Raigeki's going to be eating here.
Yep, it really is. I mean, ISMOO's got a couple of options, looking for Despair Stun going on top of the Nana. All skills going to be available with the Changpeng. And again, with the additional turn after a Serious Matter.
Wow, really lucky proc here by ISMOO. Again, getting those defense breaks softens Raigeki's team up here. So unfortunately, Raigeki's not going to have a Masha again. He's going to need to rely on that Juno to win. I don't think Juno's going to be able to do this against a Water Ryu.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be really tough. Lucky Despair Stun going out on top of the Water Ryu, though. But there's that big 2nd skill, taking out the rest of that Masha. No orb's going to be available here. Looking for a Despair Stun coming out of the Nana here. The only gets the attack break, though. Skills available. Using the 3rd skill. That's it. It's just a lonely Juno. Raigeki's not a fan of this. You can already tell that this is going to be it in ISMOO. We'll be moving forward in today's tournament.
Wow, good play by ISMOO. They're taking advantage of the box difference between the 2 there. And again, able to seal it, take it home, and not force this into an ace match.
Exactly. Great plays by ISMOO, indeed.
There you have it. The European 2nd place finisher knocking down the America's Cup champion. Raigeki, known for bad luck in the past, strikes again on the global stage. But give the credit to ISMOO, who came out in that game 1 against a speed lead, going first turn and taking the game completely out of Raigeki's hands. And then in game 2, that's the luck that we love in SWC in the arena mode. And we say goodbye to Raigeki, and ISMOO is 1 step closer towards becoming the finals champion. What a run there by ISMOO. You called it earlier here, Making It Fun. It feels like Raigeki tries to play these perfect games, and his windows of opportunity to win are so small